Okay, so good afternoon, good evening, or good morning from wherever you are joining from the world. Thank you so much for joining today's session, Google Antigravity from Development Pain to High Impact Prototypes, organized by Google Developer Group on campus UTM, aligning with the Build with AI campaign and our own campaign called Project 2030 under the MyAI Future Hackathon. So, welcome everybody for today's session. And today we have with us Mr. Saad. Mr. Saad is the regional lead for Google Developer Community Programs of Google. And Mr. Saad is a renowned digital ecosystem builder and technology strategist. And he is currently handling the Google's developer and builder ecosystem for Southeast Asia and South Asia. He empowers thousands of developers to build with AI and cloud. He is also a TEDx ambassador, former TEDx ambassador, and he is also the first Google developer expert in Pakistan. Saad is also a Stanford lead alumnus dedicated to bring the gap between human potential and digital innovation. So, without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Mr. Saad. So, welcome, Mr. Saad.
Awesome. Thank you, Samuel, for the great introduction. I hope everyone can hear me fine. If you can hear me fine, just maybe give me a thumbs up so I can know that you are able to hear me fine. Okay, I see a bunch of thumbs ups. So hopefully you can hear me fine. So I'll give a quick introduction about myself, and then we will go into a little bit of what I call as vibing with vibe coding. We'll start a little bit with that narrative, and after we are done with that, we will go hands on to anti gravity, and then we can go into Q&A as well. So please bear with me. It's Ramadan. I'm fasting as well, so my voice might sound a little bit different because it's still 3 to 3.5 more hours till I can break my fast. And for some of you out there, might be the case as well. But overall, I'm very excited to join this session. First of all, like special shout out to Samuel here. He's been very consistent and very persistent on chasing me to join some of the events, and I've had the opportunity to meet him as well at some of the previous events. And the whole series that you did before, Samuel, like really want to appreciate the Gemini Nexus series. I think that was really well appreciated in the whole community, and kudos to you for bringing the whole community together and doing this awesome kind of like series of events, activities. You're a true community builder. Thank you so much for your efforts. So really want to acknowledge you. Okay, now I would want to maybe get started. Let me share my screen. Yes. So the way I usually do this is before I even get started into going hands-on with something like anti-gravity, I really like to set up the stage. The stage is basically to discuss a little bit about what is vibe coding, what you can do with it, why to use it, how to use it, and all of that. And for that, our team has actually created a handbook. So this handbook is publicly available. That's why I'm sharing the link here as well with everyone. What you can do is, if I'll go through this handbook later on, right now, and then we'll go into the hands-on. But later on, you can download this handbook for yourself as well. You can make a copy, and you can take this to your university, your workplace, to your communities to teach AI Studio or anti-gravity in your communities as well. So this is a new thing that we have created for community builders out there. And I'll just kind of quickly walk you through it, and then we can get into the hands-on part. Um, so let's start with whiteboarding. At this stage, I mean, I'm pretty sure that all of you have probably heard of vibe coding, or you know a little bit about what it is, why to do it, why it's important. So this term was coined by Andrej Kapati, who used to be a part of OpenAI. And at this stage, I mean, pretty sure everyone knows about OpenAI and ChatGPT and Gemini as well. Um, what's the simple approach here? The simple approach here is that you kind of build apps using natural language. Um, so this is something we see at Google every day, and in my role as well, is that so in my role, you can see in the title as well, it says regional lead for developer ecosystem. But I think what has changed is that now we are looking at the builder ecosystem as well. So whether you know how to code or whether you do not know how to code, it's perfectly fine as long as you can, in simple language, tell the system how to build me an app. It can do that. So no programming required, no coding experience required. But if you are an app developer or a web developer or any developer, it is a good thing because then you can edit your code in a nice way. And in most cases, you can go from a simple idea to a live app in like 15 minutes. Usually, like the best simple prompt is, you go to AI Studio or you go to Antigravity and you just say, build me an app lah. And that's the best way to get started. But I'll give you more examples of how to write more advanced prompts to build your app in a nice way. And we'll try out some of this stuff as well. Who should use this? Builders or developers? Whether you know how to code, whether you do not know how to code, whether you're a designer, business consultant, whether you're a student, it's for everyone. So I would highly recommend everyone to try out vibe coding. Why vibe coding might be for you? I would say this is the difference between driving a manual car and driving an automatic car. See, when I was growing up, everyone was shaming me because I did not know how to drive a manual car. And when I got to Singapore, from Pakistan, I realized that nobody even has manual cars anymore. Like everyone is driving automatic cars. So I think in the future, everyone is going to wipe code. And then it's important if you know how to edit that code for sure. Like, if the engine breaks down, it's important to go and fix it. But even if you do not know how to fix it, that's fine. So that's what vibe coding is. It's like a simpler way of using natural language to get from point A to point B, like you do in an automatic car. I'm still my family, still kind of makes fun of me because I still do not know how to drive a manual car. But that's fine because I can drive an automatic car. Similarly, for you, if you can do vibe coding, you can build stuff, you can get from point A to point B. You do not need to know the syntax. But if you learn the syntax, that's good. Then you can go much more deeper. This is arguably the best time in history to learn how to build because there is no friction anymore in being able to build. Back in the days, when I was learning programming, I'm an electrical engineer by education, by the way. So as an electrical engineer, when we were learning like C++, I don't even know who uses C++ anymore, but I'm pretty sure some legacy systems use C++. We used to have no graphical user interface. It was just like a terminal. We used to give a command. It used to build something. But these days, you can build your own apps. I'll tell you an example. I'll probably show it to you later as well. For Ramadan, I built my own app this time to break fast, to keep a track of my prayers. So I think this is the time of where you see like the rise of micro apps. Non-developers can build apps, and they can try apps as well. So yes, thank you, Samuel. I'm pretty sure, like of the three people on the app right now, you are one of them. I am one of them, and probably yes, awesome. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So I think everyone should, and I want to demo an app today as well. So I'll probably help you build an app in a very, very simple way. There's three simple ways in which you can build apps, web apps, any kind of an app. So the first thing is you need to know how to think. You need to have the intent. How do you do that? You go to any LLM. Ideally, hopefully, you go to Gemini before you go to any other, app. and you just give it a prompt. You learn how to prompt. And I think the prompt is the superpower for a vibe coder. So the first thing is the prompt. The second thing is the building part, which again is the prompt. And the fourth thing is the publishing part, which is also done using a prompt. And for the thinking part, you can use Gemini app. For the building part, you can use something like AI Studio or Antigravity. And for the publishing part, you can use Google Cloud Credits, which Samuel just provided to you. And you can use the cloud credits to actually publish your apps as well. So there are three main vibe coding platforms that Google offers. One is the very simple one, AI Studio, Antigravity. The very basic one is AI Studio. The second one is Antigravity. The third one is Gemini CLI. Can I get a thumbs up? How many of you have already tried AI Studio? Okay, good. So I see a bunch of you have already. How many of you have already tried Antigravity? Okay, I still see more thumbs up. Anyone who has tried Gemini CLI? Okay, good. A few of you. So now it all comes down to the entry point. Who are you? What do you want to do? What is your skill level? What is your coding approach? If you are starting on a very, very basic level, I would recommend you to start with Google AI Studio. It's like a web browser. You go and give a command, you build something, you publish it. Anti-gravity you only download when you want to do something much more complex, like you want to spawn a bunch of agents and you want them to do something. Gemini CLI is when you want to just use like a terminal command or like the terminal interface to get things done. So this is the difference between all three of them. And we'll go into some examples later, but just wanted to show you the starting point, the skill level, the coding approach, and the key features. Okay, we start with the thinking part. I think the best way to start with anti-gravity or any agentic platform is to just build something which you have seen traditionally. It could be like a productivity tool. I built like a Ramadan app to track my prayers. Could be an event countdown. Could be a game. Could be a calculator. Just something very, very simple. And the best way to look at it is you look in your daily life and you look at what's the simple thing that I can build right now. And I can see there's some good questions coming in as well. I'll probably park them all to the end of the session. I'll cover the Q&A then, because I think most of those questions will be covered by them. But so start with a simple website. The basic thing that you can get started with is maybe convert your LinkedIn profile into a website. That's the easiest way. That's the best way. So building simple apps with vibe coding, that's the best way to get started. But if you want to go a notch further, you want to go a little bit in depth, these are some of the AI features you can integrate into your app. So wherever you think it's important, you can take one of these features, you can give a prompt to anti-gravity that, hey, build me an AI-powered chatbot. Anti-gravity will automatically find the right libraries and will do that. Or you can say, hey, I want like to analyze images, so to do this. So these are like simple prompts here that you can get started with to add AI features to your app. But the most important thing is the prompt. I want you to save this. And one request I have from all of you. After this session, I want you all to use this prompt or build your own prompt. I want you to build something using AI Studio or Antigravity, and I want you to post it on LinkedIn so others can see what amazing things you're building. One simple example I can give you is this prompt here. So you start with a role, then you kind of define the goal of what you want to build. So the role is that you are an app builder who prioritizes good user experience. So think of your AI as someone that you can give instructions to. You have to tell it what to build. You have to tell it what role it needs to have. You need to define the goal. So in this case, I've said, create a web app that helps me build, that helps me track my food calories and water intake. The third one is provide more context. So I've provided more context. I plan to use this app daily to count my calories and track my water intake, and I want weekly summary. The fourth one, does it need AI? It so I put the prompt here. It would be good to use AI to track my calories if I can provide pictures of my food. Okay, that's interesting. Now the fifth one, create the vibe. So I say that create a skeuomorphic vibe, which is like a design philosophy. And then the last one, add a visual. If you have a screenshot or you have a mock-up, you can just give that. So instead of giving like lazy prompts, what is a lazy prompt? A lazy prompt is, build me an app, la. Like, just don't do that. Like, try to, give like very, very detailed prompts, and you will get better results. So this is like the right way. And I would love for you to post this on LinkedIn, tag me as well. Would love to see what kind of things you come up with. And advanced prompting techniques, are you can have like a layered approach. And I'm not going into detail in this. You can see this handbook later on. I just want to walk you some of this, and then I want to show you live. The build part. This is important. I think I'll skip
So,
AI Studio
sorry for the
because
interruption.
I want to focus on.
Sorry for the
Yes.
interruption. Can you go back to two previous slide? I want to screenshot. Forget the screenshot.
Oh, no, no worries. You can download this whole handbook. Samuel can share the link. Even I
Okay.
can share the
Okay.
link.
Thank you.
Just give me. Yeah. Because this is for everyone. Let me share the link. Where is the chat? So here is the chat. So you can just download the handbook. Don't need to screenshot. Feel free to copy, use it, take it, build with it, enjoy. But thank you for Kingsley for sharing. Yes. Okay, build part. So why it is a very important time in history is because Gemini 1 was about understanding. And I'll be honest, like Gemini 1 was, I mean, not that good. And then came Gemini 2, which was like, thinking. Now we are in Gemini 3 era, which is all about being very agentic and building. And models like Gemini 3.0 have set the stage for vibe coding by going from mere understanding and thinking to agentic reasoning. This agentic reasoning capability allows vibe coding platforms to think, build, and publish. So, in the interest of time, uh, Samil, I need your advice. Should I give them like a quick walkthrough of AI Studio, or should I jump straight into anti-gravity?
We did actually have another walkthrough by ZE like few weeks ago from AI
Perfect.
Studio.
Perfect. So that's sorted. So then I can go directly into anti-gravity. And yes, okay. For some reason, the link doesn't work. So I'll just skip through it. I'll go directly. Okay, anti-gravity. Anti-gravity, very simple. You download this tool directly. And I love the animations on the slide. Kudos to our team who built this. But the anti-gravity is like a simple tool where you go against gravity. What does that mean? That means you're basically trying to lift off. You're trying to launch something. So it's a simple tool that you download to your Windows, MacBook, Linux, whichever platform that you're using. And it's an IDE. So basically, it's like a code editor. It's an integrated development environment. But I think anyone who does not know how to code, they can also use this IDE. It's all about learning how to use a software. The second part is that it has like two modes. It has like a preview mode and it has like a build mode. I'll go through that later. I'll show you how that kind of works. And you can just use like very, very simple prompts, or you can spawn your own agents, multiple agents. So it really depends on how you want to use it. But that's like the best way to get started. Okay, now a little bit into the interface. And I know like some of the images might be small because of the screen size, but when I zoom in later, you'll probably be able to see them. So when you go to anti-gravity, when you download this app, usually after installing and going through the basic settings, you will land onto this like simple screen, which is called the playground. On the playground, all you have to do is you have to give like a simple prompt. With this prompt, you will be able to build anything. So this is what the screen actually looks like. Very simple place. You just give that prompt. Here I've given you an example of the same prompt as well. You can copy paste this. You can paste this later on in your anti-gravity, and you can see how this works. So this is like the simple screen. So this is an actual example of the same prompt that I'm giving. It's basically a GIF, and you can see like in a couple of seconds, although it took me like 15 minutes, but like it's going, the GIF is going really fast. You can see the whole app was built. So you can go from prompt to publishing in just like a mere 15 minutes. In anti-gravity, what are some of the screens that you should know about? There is, first of all, the agent manager. This is the place where you can see whichever agents you are working with or whatever the playground is. Then you have the place where you select the conversation mode and the model. There are two types of conversation modes. One is fast, one is planning. If you don't want to use a lot of your tokens, I would recommend that you use the fast mode. Because otherwise, if you use the planning mode, it will use a lot of your tokens. And anti-gravity can run out of quota pretty fast because it connects to your Gmail. And we know, like, in this day and age, there is electricity, there is, utilities. I'm talking about the utilities, like, there is water, there is electricity, there is what else? There is gas for fire, and there's token for AI. So just be very aware that tokens, like, don't try to use a lot of your tokens. Just try to be very careful about how you use your tokens. But that's actually the reality of this day and age. So the second one is that model. You can select any model, but I would recommend that you select the Gemini 3 Flash because it's like pretty fast, and at the same time it is how should I say this? It is very multi-model. So it has a very good understanding of images, text, audio. So that's the how should I say this? The special superpower of Google models. And then you can, of course, have other models in between as well. If you run out of quota from one model, you can actually use other models as well. I'll pause here. There was a question, maybe. I can take questions if anyone wants to
Yes,
ask questions.
Saad,
Yes.
a question about this.
Yes.
I get confused when I'm selecting the model. You have the Flash and you have the Pro. Pro are reasoning models, right? So
Correct.
when you're using the reasoning models, why do you still have to choose between planning and fast?
That's a good question. I think from what I know, so there is one thing which is the model reasoning, and the other thing is the conversation mode. So model reasoning, for example, if you select like Gemini 3 Pro, it will spend more tokens, it will reason more. Conversation mode is different. Conversation mode basically means that whether it will autonomously just keep doing things or whether it will create artifacts. And artifacts, I'll show you later what are artifacts. But these are two different things. One is the model, where you're trying to see whether the model wants to reason more, reason less, and everything. The other is the conversation mode. So these are two different things basically. I don't know if I've answered your question.
I mean, I understand your case of it, but yeah, it's just like another thing I have to think about every time I want to run a prompt.
Correct. I usually recommend, I can give you a default setting. For me personally, Gemini 3 Flash and fast mode. That's usually the best way to go because that's the minimal token usage in the fastest way. So again, depends on what you want to achieve, but these are two different things. One is the conversation mode, the other one, which shows the autonomy of the agent. The other one is the model. So two different things. But thank you for the question, Khairul. Okay, agentic browser. Built into anti-gravity, we have an agentic browser. The first time you launch this browser, you will see a very familiar face. That familiar face is Chrome. So this is basically Google Chrome. you open it up, it will ask you to install an extension that can connect to anti-gravity. And it is a fully agentic browser, which means that any command you give it, it will launch and it will do things by itself. So, and it's pretty magical. I'll show you some examples later on to show you how it kind of works. This is an actual example of an app I built in literally 15 minutes or less. It's the same prompt I showed you before. Um, Conveniently enough, I built a calorie tracking app, but since the time I built it, I have not been using it. So because I did not want to track my calories, but this one is a skeuomorphic design, as you can see, and you can see that it's the browser. It is itself doing the Q&A of the app. The browser is trying to go and push buttons and see whether the app works or not. This is not me. So it's like a pretty cool demonstration of how this whole thing works. Editor mode. This is the other mode of anti-gravity, where like you can see the files, artifacts, and I'll show you an example of this. I usually recommend, if you're trying anti-gravity for the first time, you probably want to start, or if you're building something new, you want to start with the playground. Then you would want to switch into the editor mode. So this is what the editor mode looks like. It's probably a little bit more detailed than very simple playground mode. In the editor mode, on the right hand side, you have your conversation history. You have the same kind of things that I was showing you before. You can choose between the fast, the model, and all of that, and we'll get into it live as well. On the bottom, you have the terminal. Why do we need the terminal? Terminal, you probably do not need a lot. Maybe sometime when you would want to do something much very agentic. Okay, what is the definition of very agentic? For example, if you have a Flutter app and you want to test the app on your phone, technically anti-gravity can build it for you, but anti-gravity cannot actually run that app on your phone. For that, you need to connect your phone to your laptop, which I just realized I'm missing the cable for, but never mind, I'll probably get it later if we get to that testing stage. But you connect it to your laptop and you give it a command like Flutter analyze, Flutter build, and then it kind of pushes it to your phone. So if you want something to be more agentic. Then you have artifacts. I think one of the best things about anti-gravity is the artifact. It can spawn up different documents, and it can check with you first that hey bro, I'm building this for you, are you okay with it, do I have your consent? And then you'll be like, yes bro, you can go ahead and build this for me. So it gives you these lot of artifacts, and it will keep getting your confirmation whether you want to do this or not. And then on the left you have this list of files that it's creating based on the commands that you've given. Few prompting techniques to keep in mind before we jump into an actual live demonstration. One is it's important to define the goal, the constraints, and the success criteria. I think super important. The second one is it's important to maybe assign what I call as a developer flavor or developer seniority. Like if you're building a Flutter app, then you would want your agent to know that they should think like a Flutter engineer or something like that. The third one is you can put in your prompt add file name or add directory, and you can tell it to look for certain files or look for something. After implementation, run the app, record the browser session. If you have a proprietary logic, don't explain it, add it into the skills file, which we call as the skills.md markdown file. And please don't put in your API key, especially your Gemini API key, directly in the in the interface, because otherwise I think you will forget your electricity, gas, and water bill. The only bill that you will be getting is the Gemini bill, and that will be a very big bill shock. So just be very careful that you do not put this right in. And there are a few ways in which you can make it more secure. I think there is a thing called env file, you can put it there, or you can add like git ignore command if you're pushing this to GitHub or Git generally. To just be careful with the key. Yes. Okay, publish part. So for publish, I mean, Samuel has already given you the credits. You can use the publish command um, in the in anti-gravity for Cloud Run as well. And yes, you can use these credits. Once you've built the app, you can just tell anti-gravity in natural language, hey, I built the app. Now, can you be please kind enough to help me push this to Cloud Run? And it will download the the Docker files, create the environment, ask you for authentication, blah blah blah, and it will just push it, and then you'll have like a live link. So it's pretty cool if you want to try it using the cloud rates that we give you. Okay, all good. Any questions till now? Yeah, probably if anyone wants to download this, please take a screenshot of this, try this, use this. I'm trying this with my, with my family these days. They are very concerned, why am I so obsessed with vibe coding? But I think it's the best time to be a builder. Before I get into the live, like the anti-gravity, any questions so far?
So, is it able the anti-gravity can help us to code along how we can code for LLM ops? Like when we develop an app, right? We need to implement some AI features, but we need to monitor the AI's functionalities. How efficient is it? So we need LLM ops, right?
Yeah.
Continuous deploy, monitor, and then restructure the code.
Yeah. I think that's that's an interesting LLM ops. So basically using the LLM to consistently verify, deploy, do the. I think anti-gravity should be able to do that for you. You just might, or maybe Gemini CLI again depends on your use case. But I know that either of these tools are very much helpful to do that. I personally like anti-gravity more because it has like a graphical user interface. So the way it feels to me like is that it's like a project management tool. Like you have Google Docs, you have a bunch of docs, and then you kind of you're editing in it. But if you want like more terminal based LLM ops, then you probably can do Gemini CLI. Either of these things should be able to help you. But if you want like code assistance, that's different. There's a different tool for it that Google has, which is called Gemini Code Assist. So eventually, like Google has like all these kind of like tools, and it's for you to figure out which one works for you, which one you like more. So yes, I think that
Okay.
answers your question.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. Any other question before I get into the hands-on action?
Maybe explain
Hello, sir.
anti-gravity.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Would like to ask. Aside from using Gemini, right? Is it possible to like use our own locally run LLM to like run this code, or is anti-gravity just fixed to Google tools only?
Very good question, Terry. Anti-gravity, you can use any LLM. You can use externally online hosted LLMs as well. You can use a locally hosted LLM as well. It's like you have to hack your way around it, but it's possible technically.
So basically, to summarize, anti-gravity is just for us to generate code, but alongside when we are coding, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'll show it to you. I think that would be much better. But usually there are multiple use cases. There is not like a single use case. And probably this is the best part. I'll just show it to you. You folks decide what is anti-gravity and how it works and how to use it. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So, okay, let me stop sharing my screen so I can share the whole window.
Hi sir. Just now you mentioned you can use any other LLMs, but from my experience, I think it only offers the three main Gemini models and then the Cloud Opus models and Sonnet models. Does it really support BYOK?
So good question. Based on my experience, it so there's LLMs which are connected inside anti-gravity, which is the one from OpenAI. There's the GPT one. There's the Claude Sonnet models, and then there's the Gemini models. There is like a way that I checked on YouTube in which you can locally host an LLM and connect it. It's not that simple, but it should be possible. Maybe like if you try look it up on the YouTube video. Um, just a suggestion. But ideally, for people who want to be in their workflow, they would want to use the models which are like the either Gemini, Claude, the popular ones. Yes, and then you can just try it out for yourself if it works or not. Yeah. Okay.
All right, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay, now I'll probably just fire it up. So we go into clarity. I hope you can see the screen okay. Okay, excellent. So this is what it looks like. I'll try to open the agent manager. Go to playground. Yeah, see, that's the name of the app, which is Better Muslim, which is like a Ramadan app. So that's why it says that. So this is the playground. And you can see on the left hand side, this is my history. So this is where the playground is, and we can start building any apps. Now, I'm totally open to experimenting however you folks suggest to me. I'll show you what I've built so far. I've built like an AI judge, a hackathon AI judge. So that's an interesting thing I've built so far. I've built an app called Betterism, which is like podcasts, then like a Ramadan app. There's a bunch of other projects I've built as well. But I'm very open to like trying from you folks. One of the things I wanted to build on today's session is like a flight tracker. I don't know why I thought of it, because of course, like globally, flight tracking and those things are going like because of some regional things. I think I needed to track for some family members like flights and everything. But I'm very happy to build something else. Anyone has any ideas? Do you want to put it on chat? Do you want to just share it? Anything you want me to build right now? I'm happy to take that prompt and show it to you live.
Chat is blocked.
Oh, chat is blocked. So in that case, no worries. Does anyone want to volunteer? You can probably raise your hand. I can probably ask you, and we'll just make it more collaborative instead of like keeping it one way. Do you want to raise your hand? And then, okay, it's open now. So you can probably put it in the chat. Oh, LinkedIn profile to a website. That's an should we try it? Okay, why not? So let's. Okay, now that you mentioned it, I'll go to my LinkedIn profile and flood early warning detection. That's a good one as well. Okay, maybe I'll start with a very basic one. So, hey Gemini, here is my LinkedIn profile. Would we turn it into a portfolio? I need a really nice portfolio, and I want you to test the website portfolio. Okay, can anyone tell me if this is a good prompt, or this? Do you think this can be improved further? Feel free to unmute, chat, like put it on chat how you want it. Okay, I've got a thumbs down, which means it's not a good. Okay, need to improve. What do I need to add more based on the examples that I showed you? So you're right, this is a lazy prompt.
I think we can add context on what kind of work or job scope that we are searching for.
Okay, yes. So I'm trying to find job in another big tech company. I hope my manager does not see this. And I would like to build a portfolio for it to highlight my skills and achievements. Um, I want the design to feel snappy, trendy, and should also be mobile responsive. Link my profile. Yes, please. Anyone raise their hand? You want to say something?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Saad. Maybe we should add some kind of rule to the prompt also, like you are a developer or a web designer, something like that.
Correct. So, I mean, ideally, in the start, you can write like, you are a world class portfolio designer and also a master of React or TypeScript kind of websites. I mean, I'm just giving some examples here. It could be something else. Um, so there's some comment. What they're interesting comment. Constraints, yes. I mean, we could add like predefined text tags to it. Correct. I mean, you could do a lot of things. I'm just being mindful of time here, but you can take your time to add as much. And okay, now let's just run it. Let's just see what it does. So I've selected fast. I've selected Gemini Flash, and you can see what it's doing is it's trying to scrape the data, and it's trying to show me what it's doing, which I think is the amazing part. And now you can see I'm not touching the browser. The browser is completely agentic. So you can see there are blue lines on the edge of the screen. So the browser is trying to figure out what to do. Wait, let me go back to Antigravity. So it's trying to do something. It's probably getting stuck. And I think what will eventually happen is it will try to find that X button on the top and try to close that. It's probably running into issue. See, it says the obvious path seems like clicking the X button. Now I hope it clicks the X button. Oh wow. So see it, yeah, the agent by itself clicked the X button because it was fine. So now it will take some time to go through, I think, my profile and try to gather the data and then convert it into a website. So we can see it's crawling by itself. And like a human, it's trying to find content from it. And it's trying to put all of that here into, so it's, I mean, sometimes it can keep scrolling. So Benjamin, that's a good question. It does not require authorization. I'll tell you why. Because your profile is public. So it will only be able to get stuff which is public. Of course, if you wanted to get stuff from your inbox, you can log in. You can go to Chrome and you can log in. But for now, I've not given it like login permission. And yes, that's a very good comment on the MCP as well, where you can just like, technically this is the MCP at work. So I don't know if it's running into an issue again, but it's trying to find like some information, and there's doc here as well. Oh no, there's no doc. It re-triggers the, so let's see where it gets stuck. Correct. So you're very right. Thank you for the comment. Like LinkedIn does have, you're very right. LinkedIn has very strict, which is why I hope I don't get blocked by LinkedIn after this. I'm just thinking if there's any other public profile that I have which we can use, or we can switch to some other use case. Eventually, if I log in the LinkedIn, it will work really fine. But I think for right now, I don't have the login on this browser. I have it on a different browser. But I mean, let's see. It's interesting to see. So see, it's trying to extract. It's creating a checklist. It's created some information. It's trying to do more. Probably I can stop it in between. I'll give it a few moments. This is the interesting part. I think it's trying to see what more it can get. Okay. I think maybe you can just create a portfolio based on the info collected so far. So let's see, I've basically asked it to like just stop and see if we can. Somebody wants to say something? I'm open to any thoughts, questions, comments. I mean, I'm learning as much as you folks are. I'm not an expert at this, so feel free to share if you have any. Oh, it's going back again. See, it's stuck in that loop.
Saad,
Yes.
myself, I've been using Antigravity for past 2 months, and I have a few architecture questions I have to paste in the chat. Choose which one you can help answer.
Can, yes. As soon as this thing is done, we move past this. I can pick another example as well, and then we can go into some of the questions. I'll
Okay.
see how much time it takes. If not, I can switch to probably the prompt example I can show you. Yeah, maybe that's like a much safer bet. So let me go into that one. Just give me 1 sec. So I'm just picking like a random prompt here. I mean, it's the same one that I've used before. It has good context. I can show it to you. And see, while it runs, I can go into a new agent. So while that agent keeps running, I can go into this agent. So see, you can spawn multiple agents. That agent will keep doing that. And this agent is now doing this. I have a corporate laptop, so sometimes it gets, you can see like, the commands are telling me like something might not work, but hopefully we will build something. Okay, so it's given me an implementation plan, which looks really good. It's selected its own tech stack, file structure. It is now using Nano Banana to come up with some images as well by itself. Like it decided to kind of like, have like some images. So it's coming by, like it's trying to generate by itself. Although I'm not sure how it will use the images, but still interesting. Every time, by the way, you use the same prompt, you will get like a different result. So it's always good to do what I call is like prompt threading. So you go from one prompt to another prompt and all of that. Okay, let's see where the other agent is. Oh, the other agent is doing something. I'm pretty sure there's some other Saad Hamid now, and it's going to confuse us both and come up with a collective portfolio. But you can see it's because it's getting blocked by my LinkedIn, it's coming up with like Google searches by itself. You can see it's like searching Google by itself to come up with information for the portfolio. That's crazy. I think Kazi, you have to use the one, it's the same browser, but it's like the one with the extension. So you can That's a good question. I've not used a regular Chrome browser. I think you have to use this Chrome with the extension installed, because it's a different profile of Chrome, and it also keeps you safe. Yes, the slides. Yes, I'm the speaker. Let me share there's a link to the slides somewhere in the chat box, or you can just share the link again. Somewhere. Yes. Interesting comments. Let me read some of the comments. I've heard it's correct. So Faisal, you're right. At this stage, like both the profiles of Chrome and anti-gravity need to be separate. So it's better to keep them separate, and I agree with that. Yes. Wait, sorry, your question is it true if you tackle those? So, I mean, sorry, your question is more around vibe coded apps. Do they have security issues? Yes, they do, which is why you need to be very careful before you go into deployment. And okay, let's see. I'm going to see where are we? Okay, this one is about to launch. Okay, thank God, it's about to launch. Let's see what's happened. Wait, where is it? Has it launched it? Not yet. So I will ask the. Can you open? Can you give me a demo of this in the agentic browser? So now it's initiating a demo session. Oh, interesting. So see, it kind of came up with its own app, and now it's testing it by itself. That's not me using the computer, it's testing it by itself. So just wanted to share with you like a simple example. So this is one agent, it's doing this. I have another agent which is doing what? The other agent is trying to find information on me on the internet. And oh, it also came up with the website. Oh, wow. Where is it? Is it here somewhere? So this is a high quality screenshot of the page loads. Wait, oh, wow. Ta-da! So it, yeah, it made the, see, this matches the theme of this event as well. Wow, so interesting. 10 years of experience, app growth manager. Okay, came up with the portfolio. Yeah, not bad. See, so this is, I think, one of the great things about anti-gravity, that it can, like, you can spawn multiple agents, it can build websites, build like calorie tracking app, and that too in like just 10 minutes. With the cloud credits, you can just deploy this. And I have a lot of use cases. Personally, I love to build mobile apps. So I've built like, I'll show you one app that I built. So this is an app that I built completely using anti-gravity. It even says here, I think somewhere it says it's built with it, like I added it to the notes that it's built in anti-gravity or something. But this is like simple lessons for success, mini podcasts, and you can see like 10,000 people have downloaded it. It took me like 2 weeks to build this. So this is like a simple example. Then this is like more of a Ramadan app. Funny name, I know, Better Muslim, but I hoped this app would help me become a better Muslim. So it has prayer and like Quran inside. So it's like a name that I came up. This one is also like already downloaded by a bunch of folks, and Ramadan is the right season for it. So yeah, I think these are good examples. I hope you like the whole anti-gravity demo. I can go a little bit over time and take a bunch of questions. So Samuel, can I get your help to moderate some of these questions? Like I can go over by 5 to 10 minutes, or even
Okay.
15 minutes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Really appreciate your time. We can go for Q&A. So I will gonna pick the questions. So if you guys can be a little bit organizedly ask question in the Q&A section, so like we can pick it up nicely. Otherwise, it's like one question another going below.
Samuel, do you want to pick the questions for me? I'll answer whatever question you pick.
Yep. Sure, sure. Okay, so the last question was, can we spawn multi-agents within one same project? How does the agent not override each other?
Yeah, that is a good question. I have not done multi-agenting so far a lot. So I don't know how that would actually work. But there would be like some rules that you'll have to set. Ideally, the way it works is like the way I've heard it works is that if you have multi-agents, you can get one agent to do one part of it and the other agent to do other part of it. So one example of that is if you're building a mobile app, you can get one agent to do the back end, one agent to do the front end. So you would want to create that. Otherwise, it will become like Game of Thrones, and one agent will be fighting with the other agent, and you don't want. I don't know like if that creates an issue, but you would want to be very careful with how you allow the permissions. Um, that's my assumption based on this. Yes.
Okay, so let's go for uh, can we create by this a bot that has your information of your CV and cover letter, and it applies for your job in the same field you are studying? Like an example, we set a number of jobs and it applies for the 50 automatically.
I think that is very much possible. I have tried something like this. It's called like, I mean, I've not tried applying for a job. I hope my manager is not listening, but I've tried it for automated tasks of this sort. It should work as long as you're able to create a script using anti-gravity and you're able to tell that, which are some of the sites where you want to apply. You provide it with the file, it should be able to do that. Uh, but I would also recommend you to be careful because of course the use case is very important, like whether you want to apply for a job to an agent, whether you want to apply as a human, what's the difference between both, how do you differentiate yourself, but it should be able to technically do that. Yes.
Okay, so the next question will be from Khairul. So Khairul is one of our like mastery achievement for our Gemini Nexus. So he joined us. So the loop agent architecture. How is Google thinking about the evolution of the loop agent architecture for handling multiple step terminal and browser tasks without human hand holding?
So, if I understand this correctly, and sorry if I'm getting this wrong, maybe I've not tried this use case, is what happens is that when you give it some commands, you can tell it whether you want human intervention or not. In some cases, it will require that, but there is usually different levels from 0 to 4. So 0 means that I want control. I don't want you to do things by yourself. And 4 is probably where you say that you can do things by yourself. Don't keep asking me. So eventually you'll have to look at like those kind of settings, and from those settings you'll have to see what works. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but maybe that was the one.
uh, More of like he was trying to ask like something like an agent that can do like multiple work together, like working on a terminal and also the browser at the same time without human handling,
True,
something
true,
like
true. Yeah,
pre-instructions.
yeah. So you can do that because you have multi-agents. So you get one agent to do one thing, the other. I mean, we were literally doing that. One agent was building the website while the other agent was doing something else. So you can multi-agent, you can do like multi-agent things. But then again, like, you are one human. So you would want to focus your attention on one thing at a time. So maybe start with one thing first and then go into multi-agent things.
Okay, maybe we will take another 5 question.
Sure.
Um,
Just giving you a heads up, I booked this room till a certain time. If somebody comes outside and if I have to leave the room, I apologize in advance. But till nobody shows up, I'm happy to go over. Yes.
Thank you so much. Um, Usually, like the apps created, how many credits will it cost for you?
Oh, that there is no way to know because credits can come in different forms. And you know this probably for LLMs. Every input and output both are considered as tokens. So if you give a very long prompt, that will also be counted as a token. The output it gives you will also be counted as a token. So eventually, you if you wanted to like be a little smart around this, you could use some of these prompts in your Gemini app, and from there you could come and give the prompt to Antigravity. So it's all about how you would want to differentiate your tokens, but there is no way to know. It can use a lot of tokens, so be very careful while you use these things, especially on the free version.
Um, Another no, like another question is quite generic, I guess. Like, why did Google move from a 5-hour usage quota to whooping 7 days usage quota? Most likely because
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. That is a good question. I know developers are not very happy with that. I've heard about this. I'm familiar with this update. I hope so. That is because they are trying to maybe launch another quota, which is why they wanted to free up this quota. So usually Google does these things which makes people very unhappy for a certain period of time, and then they launch something which makes people very happy. So I'm assuming that they launched this new quota thing which has made people not very happy, and there will be a new update which gives like bigger quota. Um, Unfortunately, I was not the one who was involved in that decision. It probably was made by some higher ups at Google somewhere. So let's see, how that turns out. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, there is another tool called Julius. What happened
Jules,
with
yes.
that? What
Yeah,
happened?
Jules is, I think, still out there. Jules has a different use case. And in Google, this is very normal that there's a lot of tools. Eventually, whichever tools developers love, that tool will kind of stay. But under the hood, this is all using Gemini 3.0 or 3.1. So it's like a lot of different tools using the same Gemini power of Gemini. Um, Correct, correct. So that was the first one. You're right. Jules was the first one, and now we have a lot of others out there. Eventually, like tool does not matter. You keep using things, whatever you like. I'll be very honest. When I built those apps, whether it's Betterism or the Ramadan app, it does not matter whether it's using Gemini or Anti Gravity or AI Studio. As long as it helps me do the task, that's what matters.
Okay, so I'm gonna take another question. Um, yeah, small lab project stuff like anti-gravity are just more specialized versions of Gemini, specialized for certain use cases.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
So stuff like anti-gravity are
Yes,
just more specific versions of Gemini, specialized
correct.
for certain use cases.
Yeah. Is that a question or a statement?
It's a question.
I mean, that is true, right? Gemini is the and to give you and to give you a funny example again, there is water, like it's a utility. Whether you mix it into a cocktail, whether you make a juice out of it, like that's the specialized version of it. But the utility, Gemini is the utility. Then you have anti-gravity, you have AI Studio, and you have other tools. And I think that's why it's the best time to be a builder. I did not even get time to introduce you to Stitch, which is like the design tool that Google has. So see, there's like so many tools, and I think I will keep updating my handbook because there's like so many tools, and you want to make sense of it. You want to build recipes. So I think it's gonna be a great time to build. Yes.
Okay, this is also my personal question to Sad,
Mm.
and somebody already asked that question. So, did you make the Better Muslim app by using Anti-Gravity, which is published on Zadu App Studio?
So the Better Muslim app, the same one that we were talking about, it's completely end-to-end built using anti-gravity and even published via anti-gravity as well, because I gave it the commands that give me like a final APK. It's basically an AAB file. I think for those of you who've published apps, you would know it's an AAB file which gets uploaded to Play Store. That becomes an APK eventually, which you download on Android. So everything from end to end was built on anti-gravity. And it was actually built, I'll tell you a funny story of this. It was actually built because during December holidays, I had to take my mother all the way from Qatar, from Pakistan to Qatar, and I had a lot of free time on my hands. So I was like, oh, why don't I just build something? So that's why I built it. Yeah.
So I think that's all the question we will take for today because we already exceeded 8 minutes. So
I know. So sorry, folks. I know you have a lot of questions. I'm very excited about this. We'll keep doing these sessions. Hopefully, in the handbook, I will add a lot of these good questions that you have added. I would please request you to build something today and post it on LinkedIn. Feel free to tag me and Samuel as well. And I'm glad you loved it. Thank you, Wan Yui, for liking the session. And thank you to everyone who contributed. I'm glad I joined, and hopefully it's going to be a great time to build. So keep building amazing things. Yeah.
okay, thank you so much, Sad, personally, for like having you with us. And I know like you are really, really busy. And I will gonna be give honest opinion to everybody else. Try using anti-gravity. The app is really cool. The one I'm using currently, built by Sad. I'm started using the day he published in LinkedIn, and it's so helpful for me personally. Like I can track everything, and it's one of the best app I have ever used because there is so many apps, but not none of them are like well organized in that way. Before we go, maybe we can have a small photography session. So I would request everybody to open their camera.
Oh, I see Edmund. Hello, sir, again.
Neo will help us. Okay, let me turn off the recording for now.